is up, beautiful people? You know who it is, you know how it is, you know what it is we do, and you know what it is we are here for. It's your boy, the Rocky Balboa of the vlog game, Massimo, aka Max, and my man, as always, Mr. Healthy Funky Free, J to the B, live from the Isle of Man, and together we are Ignite Your Purpose, and our mission, as always, is to educate, encourage, and engage you, us, all, this world for, what is it, John?
Better life. Better life.
Better purpose, to fulfill our dreams, goals, and just the underlying thing, as always, will be self-awareness, man, because without that, we are lost puppies. Amen. Today is a very special day because I am going to try to do the best job of shut the up. We'll see how that works. John's got his pearly whites shining over there. So Mr. John, he did an immaculate feat on from what my humble self feels, and I want him to talk about it today, which is why I'm going to try my best to shut up. He went through some grinding, grueling, a tough go on a marathon, on a jaunt, whatever you want to call it, and I want him to share with us the mental strength, the mental fortitude, and the physical things he had to overcome in his own mind and his own body to get from point A to point B. I hope he can give us a little bit of background on the event and the start point, the middle point, and end point, and kind of how the mind evolved and the body followed. Mr. John, do your best, brother. Share your knowledge with the world, please, and thank you.
Okay, my friends, thank you for tuning in once again. The event is called Escape Marathon. Emma and my partner and I were traveling last year at this time, and heading through the airport, we saw this guy. He was tall, long socks, running short, little rucksack, and we thought, it's strange. And then we saw the same guy. We saw the same guy at Birmingham Airport, and I had to go up and say, excuse me, what's going on? And he said, I'm running a race. It's called Escape Marathon. Meriden is the centre of England, slap bang in the middle. And on that night, 100, 120 people left at midnight with 24 hours to get as far away as you can by feet. No breaking the law, no running down the motorway, no hopping on a bike, because the Black Crow is watching you.
Wow.
Got the tracker. So we then went where we were going, logged on, checked on, watched him. Brilliant, good effort. Didn't think of anything again until I'm running with my brother-in-law about 4 months later. And he said, I've got nothing to train for, which is just exercise. And I said, have you heard of this race? So I told him all about it, thinking, no way, he's kind of a sensible chap. By dinner time that evening, he'd signed us up as a pet. So let's fast forward 8 months. Halfway through that time, I've got a dislocated kneecap, and I decided that I'm not going to run, I'm going to walk. So that's the background, really. Good. So last weekend, we popped over, we met up with Rod and his wife, drove up to the middle of England to start this race, and I'm already starting to get a bit twitchy. I've not ran for 6 months. I've signed up to support this guy who's running for a charity called Tommy's, which is all about supporting couples and families who are having problems conceiving.
Nice.
Stillbirth, premature, you name it. It's the whole genre of that kind of issues. And they've had that problem themselves. So great cause. We've done a lot of training. He was fit. I've not seen him look so fit. And there's me talking about how fit I used to be. And that was the first mistake. Back in the day, commando course, down the hills. How hard can it be? It's all in the head. Anyway, not long after midnight, Rod had ran off, and I was walking, jogging, shuffling. Within about an hour, I'm thinking, fuck, this is a tough. You've frozen up? You okay? Yeah. It was a tough deal. It was dark. It was cold. On back roads, everything was uphill. And we only had like another 23 hours to go. Yep.
And you're alone? Like your partner left you, so you're by yourself at midnight in a place you don't know. walking in the direction.
Well, at midnight, there's about 150 people there. There's head torches everywhere. Midnight, scattered all directions. I think I saw maybe 20 people for the first 40 minutes, maybe an hour. And every now and then you get a junction and you'd see this head torch bobbing off down the road alone. Places around the world, I would not have dreamed of doing this.
Wow.
Twitchy. So 3 o'clock in the morning, we decide that he's only a mile ahead. So he slows down, I speed up. We kind of get together because we decided that we were fighting a losing battle. It was just going to be miserable until the early hours of the morning on our own. Partly because we're supposed to be asleep. You know, our body's saying you should be sleeping now. We started at midnight. We'd been up 18 hours before we'd started. Not considered it. Not considered. So already it's stacking up against us as being a big deal. So did you want to say something?
Mm-mm.
So we crack on and we get to about 8 o'clock in the morning. Lights coming up. It's getting more pleasant, and we meet the girls. We travelled for 34 miles in 8 hours, which is 4 miles an hour, which is good. But we're in bits. I'm in bits. My ankles, backs, my knees, because we'd just not done it. And then we planned to stop for an hour, but because breakfast took forever, we were there for 2 hours, which was an absolute lifesaver. But from here on in, it's going to be easy because we're on a canal, and canals are flat.
Okay.
And they wiggle a bit, but this is actually where it kind of it flipped a bit, because I'd started with this. This could be a bit of an issue, but I'd flipped back into my old military training. I'm thinking, I've done harder things than this.
Nice.
Can't make me pregnant. We can always stop. We can always stretch. We can always get a drink at every pub. And so we're talking about how far we want to go. And Rod has got the fitness, but he hasn't got the mental fortitude.
Oh.
Now he's running for a charity, which is more fun, sort of more drive for him. But he's more worried about not getting far enough that he would let them down and he'd let himself down. So he'd say, well, but we're not going to get 60 miles. And I said, well, we could try. Let's just do the next 15 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles. We're meeting the girls in an hour's time, just trying to break down this huge challenge into sort of bite-sized chunks.
Yep.
And instead of thinking, right, we've got 20 miles to get to Milton Keynes, let's run to the third canal boat. Let's walk to the bridge. Let's stop, have a quick stretch. Okay, right, I'm going to have a pee. He has a pee. We synchronized urination whenever we stopped. And we'd meet the girls every 2 hours. We'd get a drink, might put a pair of socks on. But for the whole way down this next 30 odd miles, it was trying to manage my own pain, because I was in pain. I'm very uncomfortable.
I bet.
But also managing Rod's, almost his expectations of how well we were going to do, but without allowing him to say, and if we get to this next checkpoint, that's when we're going to stop. Because it was a test of 24 hours. How far can you go until such a point as it's no fun anymore? And we'd been on the go for 18 or 19 hours. And we'd come to the last sort of checkpoint, meeting the girls, and that was at 64, 65 miles. But that measured was only 50 miles as the crow flies, and the next checkpoint was 10 miles away. But that was also Rod's goal of where he wanted to get to. Now 10 miles, 5 hours, we could have easily done that, but we've been up for 36 hours, 38 hours. We're tired, sore feet, sore joints. It's dark, it's cold. Been through the night once already, dealing with it being very dark, very cold, ghosts. Pretty sure there's a couple of wolves out there. But now we just have basically we'd have to run down a very, very busy road, shitty little path on it. And this is where the mental fortitude of being the bigger man comes along, saying we could do it, we could easily do it.
Yeah.
But we're finishing at midnight. It's only a few more miles. Anybody who supported you, God, they've watched you do a marathon, a double marathon, an ultra, 50 miler, 60 miler, double ultra, 10 more miles, where actually you put yourself more at risk, is no big deal. So, and that meant we got home at 9 o'clock at night rather than 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I've just rambled about this story that I didn't give any consideration to because I was fit in the past. Started it. It was really hard, but actually I thought about my past and the mental fortitude for that, and that kept me going. But also the fact that we teamed up as a pair and not wanting to let Rod down by saying, because I could have stopped at 8 in the morning. I could have gone, yeah, that'll do. I've got a dislocated kneecap, that's fine. But that would have been me pussying out of it, letting down my mate. And I think that he genuinely needed me along for the support as well. So that's kind of a bit of a ramble of a story. And I've gone on for 10 minutes now. So do you want to finish up and maybe pull some points out so that people can get something out of this 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd like to talk a few things. The one thing that I like that you did was that you broke it down into achievable goals along the way. Anytime, and we'll take this back to a general thing for everybody listening. Anytime you set a goal, whether it's I want to be a millionaire, or I want to start a business, or I want to, right? You got to understand, like, the end goal, it's like climbing Mount Everest tomorrow, man. You got to take baby steps, right? So you breaking those things down and trying to educate or help your partner along the way, I think is brilliant. I think that's something we need to do every day.
Everything support. Yeah.
Exactly. Support and achievable milestones, right? And once you hit that, it's like, sweet, we did it. Now let's go past it. Instead of like, we can't quite get to that one, let's stop, and now we haven't made it. And your morale goes down, right? Whereas you got to point yourself up. I want to ask you though, for all of us, go into our mental state here, the dark, low spots of it. How did you come out of it? Like, and this goes again with any generalization of business, health goals, love life. I don't care. When you're at your darkest spot, John, at 3:30 in the morning, when your knees bugging, your lower back's killing you, your feet are soaking wet, and your partner, and I'm not saying he did or didn't say this, but is like, screw this, let's just stop, let's just give up, which is what us humans want to do if it gets too hard. Let's give up. What and how did you push through that? I know your past is going to be a huge thing, and it's also your mindset. So maybe just give us a little bit of what you took.
The mindset is the big one, but it's thinking about right here, right now, what can I do to make my life easier? I can stop, I can loosen up my training shoes a little bit. You know what? Let's get some food down my neck. Let's make sure I drink the water. And my camelback had been a bit dodgy overnight, so I was having to take it off the shoulder and hang it up but I'd stop and I'd sort of loosen my shoes. I'd have a stretch, I'd have some food, have some water. We'd stop thinking about, we've got another 16 miles to get to the girls. We'd think, right, the next village is 2K. Right, the next junction's 1 kilometre. Right, let's push on to that junction. We'll stop, we'll have a stretch. And just talking like that, just breaking it down to tiny, tiny sections. We're kind of reflecting backwards that we'd done hard things before. It was a choice. We'd volunteered for it. It wasn't life and death. What are the little tricks we use? Just walking on the grass instead of walking on the road. It's just basic,
so the path of least resistance and being kind to yourself, but also in the end you had a positive outlook. Right?
And kind of rewarding yourself for what you've done so far. So rewarding yourself for, you signed up for it. Well done, mate. Well done for turning up, because a lot of people wouldn't. Well, do you know what? You start at midnight and you've done 15 miles. I've done 15 miles for a long time. And just taking these little wins along the way.
And they add up, right?
And all of a sudden, you've got less distance to go than you've done already. So it's simple things like that. So I think we're out of time. Thanks again for listening. I've rambled. It's my little turn to...
I found it good, brother. I think it was.
I know some smoke up my own arse. But what I'm going to ask you to do is just to stop my phone. Is just to like, if you like the show, like it. If you think your other friends might want to hear about a stupid, crazy dude doing a stupid race, share it with them. If you've got any questions, ask us about them, and we'll appreciate that. So, Max, I'll let you say goodbye.
I love you guys. Thanks for the listen. Ask questions. We love dropping science. Today I didn't ramble, so like I said, it's a special day. John, thank you. Ignite your purpose, people. Ignite your purpose. Love y'all.